It's the Really Charlie podcast. Sounds so true. Grab a chair, pour out a glass. Let's break through. Echoes in the room as the stories unfold. Tune in, lean back, let the moments be bold. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Tune your ear with each word spoken, withdrawing you near. Yo, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Set your mind free. Diving deep, discover what's meant to be. Oh, 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 oh.
Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. I'm Charlie Perry, and we are here. It's been a while. Just trying to make sure that, I stay steady and frequent, I stay frequent and make sure that I'm always giving you guys a podcast, right? That's the purpose of doing podcasting, is to be steady and be on a routine that people can expect you to be on time or in rotation, weekly rotation or bi-weekly rotation. Anything after that, it's really it's kind of a waste of having a podcast, right? So I'm here, have my guest. I don't know what happened, trying to figure out what's going on, but the show must go on. But our guest today was Stefanie Foster Brown. We'll give it a few minutes and see if she can get on. And I know she had a book signing earlier, so I'm just going to play it by ear. But meanwhile, I got a few things I can talk about. One of the things I wanted to talk about is just the passing of Chubby Tavaz. It's Anton Chubby Tavaz of the group, the Tavaz. And kind of hit me hard. It was last weekend, and was really shocked. I was real shocked about it. And we talked about doing a podcast within this up and coming year, kind of live and one-on-one sit down podcast, and that just didn't happen. Chubby was just a huge part of my life, as far as mentors and people you look up to, and always giving you some kind of applause and support. And he was there. He was definitely there for me. And him and his brothers were those were my first superstars. I was fortunate where it came from. It came from Bay Village Projects, and but we had an abundance of people. We had so many people that were good mentors. The Tavaz would, it was crazy how they would just be in and out of the projects, seeing people, meeting people, their family, friends all over the place, and they were just down to earth people. And we had some fun with them. We really did, and I did too. All of them. Ralph, Pooch, Chubby, Tiny, Victor. They just were a huge part of my family, on both sides. And to see them become so successful every step of the way in my lifetime. You know, it was weird. They just, they had the hits. The hits would come and it was special times. I remember the summer of, I think it was '76, and Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel came on, and that was all over the radio, all over TV. They were getting interviewed here and there. My cousin Antone Rose, may he rest in peace, was one of the bass players at some point. And it just, him and Chubby just, they were good. They were good friends. And later on, um, him and Victor Tavares were good friends. So, but I just want to say rest in peace, Chubby Tavares, and we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, and I'm definitely gonna miss you. Um, there was just one podcast that got away. We Tomorrow isn't promised. Definitely isn't promised. And we just kept putting it off. Kept putting it off. Thank God I was able to be part of an interview with Tiny Tavares. And Tiny is so welcoming. If he's around, he's going to try to, tell his story and keep the legacy going. And so and WNB1 Radio is definitely interviewed him a couple of times, and whether it's on a podcast or during a morning show, it was just, Tiny's just that dude. We always can count on him if he's in the town. If he's in town, he's definitely gonna want to speak and chop it up, and he's a good conversation. Yeah. So rest in peace, Chubby Tavares. We are going to miss you. And I want to say something that really I forgot. I reached out to the R&B Money, with Tank and Jay Valentine, and they were interviewing a lot of people, and I remember them interviewing the Whispers, right? And then, you know, sometime after, one of the brothers died. And so I reached out and I said, "Hey, man, there's a group I know, and it's the Tavares." And I said, "I think it's real important that you interview them." And really, between Ralph and then Pooch's death, I'm trying to just get out, want them to interview these guys, and it would be nice to get them on that podcast and just talk shop. It was a great era that they came up, and singing some great music. And at times I think they're underrated. And people don't realize that the harmonies, it just was just smooth on stage. The vocals were outstanding. Um, and I started with them, listened to an 8 track, you know, it was an 8 track, and that was in little 45s. And, um, Check It Out is by far my favorite song. And I truly love that song. And, it just so happens that it was one of the best they came out with. Um, so R&B Money, I'm trying to reach out to them and get no response. And just probably think I'm just some normal follower, and you know, got nothing but any kind of substance behind it. But R&B Money, I wish you had reached out to them and got them guys to do an interview in your studio. Um, you dropped the ball on it very faithfully. I follow you guys, and you dropped the ball on this one. But I'll continue to support you because I understand there's probably millions of people trying to come on your podcast. I get it. I truly get it. Tank, I know you were on Broadway doing your thing, and so I get it. I get it. But that would have been a good interview, all of them. All right. So today we were going to talk about and highlight uh, an author, Stefanie Foster Brown, and this is her book, My Heart Speaks Krioulu. That's an image illustration of her and her papa, and and she talks about being American born and trying to go back to the papa's homeland, Cabo Verde Islands, which is on the west coast of Africa, and 10 islands. And so it's a great story. I loved it. I read it with my granddaughter. She liked it. In fact, she's going to end up doing a video so we can send it to Stefanie, like we did a few months back for another author. Also, she's reading a book right now from Rika Baptista, which was written by Janet Bates, and so she's loving that book too. All right, so this is a good book. Get it on Amazon. Check it out. Is the title. I'll try to look for the link. I'll put it in the comment section so you guys can have it, and we'll go from there. All right, let me look for it. About those Celtics, man, doing it again. Won. I don't care who was missing. I really don't care. A win's a win. Those wins mean a lot, especially later on in the year when things get close and tight, and wins mean a lot. So, but I was very happy, very happy with the outcome. That Reeves kid on the Lakers, man, he's just unbelievable. Undrafted dude, scoring at ease in the NBA game. Nobody wanted to draft him. Nobody drafted him. And I think he was out of Creighton. Stefanie, there you are. Hey, the invite's in Messenger. I'll send it to you again, okay? Hold on one second, folks. Our guest is on board. Let's try to send her the invite again. All right. Stephanie, I send it to you. Um, let's see. All right. Just let me know if you have it. You should have it. There we go. Just let me know if you have it.
Hey,
What's
Charlie.
going on? How you
Hey,
doing?
good. I'm sorry. This is my first time on Facebook Live, and I don't know how to use it.
Well,
Hey,
if we
good.
we
I'm sorry. This is my
uh,
first time on Facebook Live, and I don't know how to use it. Hey,
oh yeah, don't
I'm
worry about it.
sorry. This is my first time on Facebook
Whoops.
Live, and I don't know how to use it.
Hold on, Steph. Something's on.
Yeah. This is my first time on Facebook Live, and I don't know how to use it.
Hold on, Steph.
How's that?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's good.
Uh,
I was trying to think if it was me, you, but I'm
I
just
think it was me. I think it was
all
me.
right. That's all right. All right, what's going on? We're gonna start
Not
this over
much.
again, right? We
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
no, thank you. And I know you had a book signing, so in traveling within that state of Connecticut, it's a little weird sometimes. So I get it, you know. So I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stocked up shop and did a few things, and so I'm going to deliver a message to the audience from you. All right,
Okay.
all right, let's go. All right, folks, this message is from Stephanie, and she writes, "My love of reading comes from my mother, a teacher, and my love of storytelling comes from my father, a preacher. As a painfully shy kid, books for me always felt a safe place where it was okay to be a fly on the wall. For most of my elementary school years, I struggled with a speech impediment that made me reluctant to speak at all. But whenever I wrote, it was different. Writing was the place, the one place where I felt truly myself. Fast forward to adulthood, I became a school psychologist. I loved the brainwork of building students up and helping them see their own strengths. Education, specifically literacy, is one of the greatest intervention tools I know. It can level playing fields, introduce new perspectives, and open up worlds. The open up worlds. As an author, I think a lot of these same topics. What can I say to help kids see their best selves? How can I use the storytelling to help them understand others? How can I use my words to showcase love? Outside of writing, I enjoy digging up carrots in my garden. I'm married to Eli, the kindest person I know. Two lovely humans call me mom, and one dog who bears an uncanny resemblance to Cruella de Vil insists on lying across my lap, my feet when I write. I know the feeling. Mhm. Stephanie, good message. Awesome website. I
Thank you.
truly, truly liked it.
Oh,
You,
thank you.
they did a good job on it. And if you happen to see my pet, which is a cat named Mila, come across the screen, I, I, I have no control over her. She's a maniac sometimes, and she likes to let us know that this is her home too. So, but so great story. I want to tell you,
Thank you.
I got home, probably didn't own the book about 24 hours. One of my grandchildren came over, and we read the book, and she liked it. she's gonna make a video.
Oh,
We're gonna send it to you.
oh, I love that.
So so she wants to give her child input on it, and I said, all right, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Um, and right now she's reading uh Janet's book,
Rika
and
Baptista.
yeah, she's reading
Yeah,
that right now, and she's kind of
nice.
flying
Okay,
through that one. So,
good for her.
but yeah, so it's gonna pass the hands of a few grandchildren that I have, and if they're willing to make a video, we're gonna send you a live. We're gonna send you a live video. It's kind of like a review.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
and I will post it too.
mhm. And I went on Amazon. I made sure I placed my review on your book, and
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it.
I
So how'd your
appreciate it.
book signing go?
It was good. This was actually only my second in Connecticut. I've been spending the last few weeks in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. So I love being in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, but Connecticut is home for me. So it's
Hmm.
just nice to be able to look out and see neighbors and friends and people from my everyday life. So that was a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it's it's a very um book signing's a special time,
Yeah,
and I truly it kind of leaves that lasting impression inside of you, especially some of the words that are said between you and the person that's buying your book, and kind of last a lifetime. And
they do.
I
Yeah.
remember, yeah, I remember my first book signing. I still have some great memories of it. And so, all right. So Papa is the main character, or one of the main characters. I think you
Yes.
and him are the main characters,
Mm-hmm.
and the real what I in my review I talked about how I was kind of living through this book personally because my pa, and we call him pa, we had no communication other than body language, so it was very very difficult and hard for me. Not hard, but so that's how we basically communicated. So, um, but tell me about this. What?
Sure. So the story is about a grandfather and a grandchild. It's inspired by my own grandfather, not exactly true to life, but certainly lots of elements. My grandfather was legally blind and had lost his vision pretty early, I think maybe in his 40s. He lived in New Bedford,
Mm,
and before that he was actually a really great athlete. He was in his high school Hall of Fame and big basketball player, big football player, but lost his vision, and it significantly changed his life. And I just most of my time when my grandfather was walking. Because he couldn't drive anymore. He lost his license because he couldn't see, and so I feel like the way my grandfather impacted me was just taking in the world in a different way, beyond just what we see. But it was listening to jazz music, it was eating good food, it was like using all our whole bodies, all our senses to really
mhm.
take the world around us. And that made a lasting impact on me. And so the main character, Papa, is inspired by my Papa, but also a little bit of my great grandfather, who I didn't have the opportunity to meet. He passed away before I was born, but he was a dock worker, a stevedore out in New Bedford.
Mm,
Tie up the boats. He had missing fingers from tying up boats on the docks, and just kind of a gruff guy. I think he only had a third grade education, and but just heart of gold. He always carried candy bars in his pocket for all his
mm.
grandchildren. Just kind of a gentle giant, but the main character, is kind of a combination of those two men, and their impact on me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really there's so much you said like inspiration, right? All
Hmm.
the three, well, two children's books I wrote, I actually had the they were inspired by real people, and then you
Yeah.
kind of twist it and you let your imagination go,
Yes.
and that's a great thing.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So what was that first imagination or kind of yeah, what was that first inspiration that you got that you
sure.
wanted to put in the book?
I actually wrote the book during the pandemic. I had just lost my last living grandparent, which is actually not my grandfather, but my grandmother who was married to my grandfather. And I was grieving really. I was living in Florida at the time, and I couldn't even come up for the funeral to honor them and their legacy. And I was
Oh,
just searching for a way to honor them and just to remember them. Um, and I was when you're grieving, you're also doing a lot of reflection too. And I was
yeah.
just thinking about so many good memories that I had with my grandparents and how impactful they were in my life. And I started writing, and I had been writing before that. I wrote all kinds of just silly stories, just practicing and having fun with it. And nothing was really landing. But it was when I started writing about like real people or being inspired by real people and kind of digging into that heart note a little more that
Mhm.
I started to make a connection, and then other people started to connect with my writing too. So I think sometimes when we just dig into real life, it can take us places that, not even the imagination can. Yeah, I think I hit
Yeah,
an emotional chord that, actually resonated with other people too.
of course, even including me. Yeah, imagination is kind of more like a thrill, excitement.
Fun.
Um, reality or real life organic things that you may be thinking about touches the heart, like you just said.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
touches the heart. It kind of it really so it makes you go. It makes you start thinking, and it becomes a sentimental uh, tool for going from book cover to book cover, and it becomes so inspiring,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
try to make it don't you try to make it as perfect as you can because of who you're getting inspired by, and
Yeah, you wanna do them justice, and yeah,
yeah,
I
and you
really want.
you definitely did. The
Yeah.
title is 5 stars. That title of yours is just you picked the perfect title, and in my eyes, and I just think that it resonates with a lot of people, especially American-born Cape Verdeans.
Yeah, it's a different experience, and no less valuable or important, but just different, and it's valid. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually want to give a shout out to the illustrator Keisha Morris, and did
Yes,
a great job.
she did an amazing job. Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
She has several books. So I think like maybe 20 or so books on the market, and she's very well practiced and has some bestsellers out there. So it was an honor to work with her.
yeah, that's good. Um,
Yeah.
you signed my book too, Charlie. I always speak from the heart. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how that goes along with my my AKA is a poetic pulse, and I write my poetry and kind of attach the feeling of the heart. And one of my key sayings is, "With my heart,
Okay.
I'll try." Yeah, I will say, "With my heart," and I go dot dot dot. I will try,
Yes, yes, I love
and,
that.
and it kind of applies to everything. Um, the you had you I first met you at Fusion, right?
Yes.
In Taunton.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that event.
Great place. You
Yeah,
guys had it set up real well. The what I what I liked that it was three great authors in one venue, and it was just an awesome thing.
yeah.
Um,
It was neat that we all kind of had different experiences too. And I
mhm,
think she grew up in Brazil, and Janet grew up in more the Massachusetts area, and but
mhm,
all very much Cape Verdean, but just three different experiences. So it was neat to kind of bring that together.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
especially all the stories I can imagine you guys were talking about. It must be wonderful. I wanted to ask you about this, right?
Yeah.
In your book, I'll point it out, right? Uh, Hold on before I drop everything, knock it over. You have the illustration,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and there's the new flag.
Yes. Yes.
Was was that a difficult thing to do to put the new flag compared to the old flag? Because that's a debatable thing, like
I
like
do. Yeah.
Manchupa and Kachupa,
I
and the
know.
flags, the
Yeah.
flag.
I mean, there are probably just as many people that would support one versus the other. So you got to make a
Yeah,
choice. But yeah,
yeah,
that's where we landed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the illustrations are just I caught so many of them, and on that page, there's a picture on the wall, and it's a whale in the water. At least
Mm-hmm.
I took it as a whale. Um, some of the illustrations, like the cities and towns, like the
Did you
town.
catch historic New Bedford in there?
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
I was getting at. I was saying,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
I have. Whoops, I'm sorry, I dropped something. Yeah. I actually I took a picture. I have several pictures of downtown New Bedford, and
Yeah.
so as soon as I seen that, I said, "Wow, it resembles New Bedford," and
Yep.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yes, it is very much. Yeah.
Um, as you go through your book, you proofread it, you approve it, you get your first book in your hand. What was that feeling like? What was that experience like?
That was pretty surreal. So I'll tell you a little bit. I did the traditional publishing route. I actually sold this book to the publisher 4 years ago. So it's just such a long process. And when you sell a book, it's just a manuscript. It's just
Hmm.
500 words or so on a document, and the publisher takes it and they go through a revision process with you. And about 3 years later, I got in the mail, they call it a fold and gather, which is not bound, but just the folded pages. And
Hmm.
to open that, I actually didn't, I opened the package without realizing what it was. And I think that was probably even more emotional for me than seeing the final product. Just the potential of my words turning into a story. I think it still kind of trips me up that like something from my imagination is
Hmm.
it's in the hands of people. That's pretty wild to me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you already touched quite a few people in my family, um, and I'm actually gonna wait until everyone reads the book,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna buy another one because I'm keeping this one because you signed it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna donate another book to the main library in New Bedford.
Oh, good. So I actually have an event there in end of January, January 31st. I'm going to be at the New Bedford Library. And I believe
Mhm.
they might have it in their collection, but by the time I leave, they'll definitely have more in their possession. So
Okay.
that's, yeah, that will be a nice Saturday event for families. Yeah, it'll be, I think, around
Um,
1 o'clock.
yeah, I'll make sure I go. Um,
Yeah.
and hopefully I can bring Kaya,
Yes,
who
I'd
read
love to
the
meet
book
you.
first. Yeah, I like to bring
Awesome.
her.
Aw.
Yeah. Any plans for a second book, third book, fourth book?
Um, I actually have 5 books
Hmm.
forthcoming. The next 2 are not until 2027, just the process is long.
Yep.
I sold them probably around the same time as this one, but just, sometimes you're trying to get certain illustrators or they're just glitches with publishing. They take a while to come out, so my next 2 are I don't have anything in 2026, and then 2 in 2027, and 2 in 2028. So
Awesome.
yeah, I have another one. Not everything is so culturally focused, but I do have another one that kind of features or is inspired by the woman in my family.
Yes.
Um, my family, my great grandmother. lived in New Bedford as well, and she was a housekeeper, and somehow managed to buy a cottage on the beach, in the
Mm,
Fairhaven area. I don't know, like, financially how she swung that as a house cleaner,
yep.
but it was, like, such a gathering place for my family where we every summer, we'd just be out there. Tiny, tiny, it was like a shack, a really small place, but it was ours, it was our families, and
Hmm.
everybody would use it. We'd have, like, 30, 40 people there all at once, and we'd be cooking out, we'd be have music playing, the kids would be in the water, and that was just like our little piece of heaven. So I have a book kind of inspired by that story and how we just as a family,
That's
this was a gathering place for us. Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
mentioned the town of Fairhaven, and on the comment section, Mike Samayo, who is
Yeah.
from Fairhaven, and he's also an author. So,
Oh,
Mike, how you doing? And he's watching us from YouTube.
ah, nice.
His book is due. It's coming up soon.
Okay.
It's at its very final stages, and it's a lot of different things in it. He's a tremendous athlete,
Oh,
tremendous person, and so it goes into different things, personal perspectives, and relationships, and what he was going through during his journey of being, a son, father and son uh, relationship. And then he talks about different other things and changing schools and all. It's definitely a book that should be on Lifetime
yeah. So it's a
because
memoir.
yeah, it's a memoir. I should have
Okay.
said that. And it really, really, it's I'm fortunate to see different bits and pieces of it already. But when it
Nice.
comes out, I guarantee I I put a I put $100 on it that is going to be a bestseller, and there's no doubt about it. So
Nice.
one,
Nice. I can't wait
yeah,
to see it.
yeah.
To
So
see.
you mentioned Fairhaven. He's on the screen, and
Oh, yeah. I
so
hope the title's in the comments. Did you put the
y-
title?
no, I'll look for it and I'll put it up
Okay.
there. And so the best thing about being an author, right, is that there's one thing a pizza delivery person can do that an author may not be able to do. Is that every day a pizza delivery person could feed a family of four.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
it's yeah, I got that from another author, and he had mentioned that, and I laughed.
that's cute.
So I use the joke every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right. I wanna talk to you about the there's so many things going on in this world, right?
Mhm.
And what oh, Michael did put it up. Sorry.
Oh, good, good.
The
Yeah, check it out.
so so many things going on in the world, and the message you deliver on your website, about different things going through life, and speech impediment, and now you're writing. Writing puts you in a new zone. It puts you in a zone. It puts you in a different place, and that's what it does for me.
Mhm.
Writing, and now I'm songwriting.
Oh, cool.
Um, so what I'm getting at is now you're gonna be inspiring so many people. You already do it where you're in your position and professionalism. Now you're gonna start inspiring some authors. Um, and what's the first thing you tell them?
Yeah. Um, so I just even in this book tour, I've had a lot of people come up and say, I have an idea for a children's book, or I've always wanted to write a children's book. And there's just one thing that sets you apart from having one and not is writing it, just putting
Mhm.
it down in writing. And I don't know why, well, I do know why that's such a big leap sometimes. I think a lot of different barriers get in the way of fear and just not knowing how, but just fearlessly putting down whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your brain, without fearing like it's not perfect, because it's not going to be perfect the first time you put
Mhm.
it. Really, the magic of writing books is in the revisions. Like nobody writes a perfect picture book the first time around it. I think I might have written this debut maybe 40, 50 times, and it's
Mhm.
just 500 words. This is just kind of carving and like really thinking about what's the message? What am I really trying to say? And chipping away at the words until you get this this thing that you're looking for, and that connects with others. So I think it sounds simple, but just writing it, putting it down. And then I think sometimes people um, don't necessarily know where to get information about how to do this or like what the skills are. And I mean, there's some technical things about
Yeah.
book writing too that there we're fortunate to live in an age where there's so much online and so many different classes and resources and in person, whatever's your area of comfort and however you want to access information, it's out there. And it's just a matter of, I think, a little bit of discipline and not being afraid of failure, not being afraid to make mistakes, because
Mhm.
that's where the magic happens, when you start looking at the mistakes and how can I improve this piece, and slowly just carving it into something.
Yeah, I have to double check on this, but, I had a friend of mine that, just wasn't comfortable writing.
Hmm.
So I told him, "Go and dictate it," you know,
Yeah.
like Microsoft Word, you can do it online and, you can dictate it and then later have someone edit it. I think that, you get enough chump change, you can pay for an editor and get it done,
Hmm.
but I can sit here and tell a story, that I have in my head just by doing what I'm doing right now and just let it every day have a conversation with the microphone and myself and just talk about something. And then all of a sudden you talk about, you just mentioned about 500 words in a good conversation with yourself, and it's getting recorded. Could be 500 to 2,000 words. And then all of a sudden you look at it and you have something going, you have
Hmm.
a chapter or two just in your normal conversation. And so, but I like to tell people that if you can't write, speak to your computer, speak to your laptop.
Yeah, and one thing I hear from editors a lot with traditional publishing is that voice is so important, and probably more important than grammar is important, and all the technical stuff is important too. But they're really looking for somebody who has a perspective and a voice. The rest you can correct. You can learn how to write perfect
Mhm.
sentences and things that sound pretty and nice and all these different techniques. But you can't always teach people how to have voice and a
Mhm.
perspective when they write. And so if you have that, I think that's half of the battle right there.
So true. Um,
Yeah.
to I'm 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 a co-host on another podcast called "Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself,"
Hmm.
and the other host, he wrote a book. It's unpacking grief, shattered to onward, and so he wrote that book, and it's an amazing book, just amazing. Um, but this Wednesday, I think his audiobook's gonna come out. It will have audio, and I'm so happy because I think he's a great key speaker, right? Keynote
Hmm.
speaker.
Yeah, yeah.
He would captivate a room. It's just the way he is, right? So I'm gonna have another celebration this coming Wednesday, and so what I
Nice.
get. This leads to you. I know you didn't like speaking, or you had a speech impediment, but
Yeah.
you would you think about audio? Because I think your voice is captivating. That would you do that?
Um, maybe. Yeah, I definitely I love writing. I think that's kind of what kept me with this process for a few years, that I just I feel so good when I write. There's something like really gratifying to me about putting down words. But I wouldn't be opposed to speaking either. Yeah, hopefully there's some audiobooks in my future too. Yeah, we'll
I
see. We'll see.
I have a huge library of audiobooks,
Yeah.
and only because I'm constantly driving.
Me too, me too.
So
That's the best for me. Yeah. I don't
yeah,
mind driving if I have a good book to listen to.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And it's just a great thing to have, and it makes the traveling go by a whole lot quicker.
it does.
And
It does.
so I just like it, and it just keeps me. Believe it or not, I pay attention more to the road while I'm listening to a book. It's
You pay
weird, but
attention more? Yeah.
yeah, I'm really focused on what's going on around me. But I'm listening to the book; it just puts me in a good mindset, and
Yeah.
so. But I think I'm a pretty safe driver, anyways. But
Yeah.
so.
I've never done so much driving as I have in the last month, just going back and forth to Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and
Hmm.
sometimes 2 or 3 events in a weekend. But I'm enjoying my audiobooks, so it's not so bad.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, all right, Stephanie, I asked this question of my guest right at the tail end of the podcast, and
Oh,
you can you can answer it. It doesn't have to be one person; it could be many.
uh-huh.
But, but who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Oh, I think you might already have them lined up. So my we call it our Krioula tour, but Janet Casabates, I think she's been on already.
Hmm.
You've interviewed her before? Yeah, she's great. I call her the OG because she in traditional publishing, she was around, I want to say like a good 10 years before Denise or I put out books. And she said
Wow.
she was just waiting for the other Cape Verdeans to show up. And
Hmm.
her books are beautiful, and she has a number of books. The latest of which is Baptista,
Hmm.
the third in the series. So I think even if you interviewed her before, I bet she was even more to talk about now, because she's been on a journey, and I'm really grateful. Just I kind of consider her like a door opener, that
Yeah.
she got there first, and she one thing I love about her is that she's just, and I think this is cultural too, but she shares her platform. Like the minute she heard that I had a book coming out, she was connecting me with people, and
Hmm.
she's like, if I'm going through the door, then we're all going through the door, and
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That I feel like that's cultural. Like we're united. And then Denise, Denise is just a wealth of knowledge about a lot of topics.
Hmm.
You can get into language topics, cultural topics with her, writing. She's just like she makes herself an expert on a lot of different topics. So she's a fascinating mind too. Yeah.
Yeah. She said she would come on in February,
Good,
so
good. Oh, good,
we're
good.
gonna do that, and I'll definitely do part two of Janet, and we get her on air, because, like you said, she has so much more to offer, so much more that she was able to build from the first podcast, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
truly, you know, um,
That's
I had her books down there. I had every Cape Verdean book that I bought from people. I had them
yeah.
downstairs. I just bring them
Goodness.
upstairs, and I wanted to kind of show it on the podcast, but it's abundant, and I actually have to add your book to the Cape Verdean Book Fair that's on Facebook. And what I
Oh, okay.
do, I take your link, your cover, your picture, your book, and I put it on the profile page,
Nice.
so
Okay.
other the Cape Verdeans will see it, and actually purchase it, just to let
Oh, thank
everybody
you.
know. Yeah, there's
That's a
so
nice
many of them out
showcase.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. Can you put the link to that too in the comments?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look for it right now. The
Yeah. I'd
and
like to take a look.
so I'm gonna. Why don't you do this? Why don't you give some advice, words of advice, inspiring people, anything. Just take about 3 minutes if you can.
Okay. um, Goodness. So I had talked a little bit about how well, in my book, I talk about a little bit of how I'm fourth generation Cape Verdean American, and a lot of my inspiration for writing the book was just kind of wanting to. I think in some ways I was looking to like validate myself, like it doesn't
Mm,
really matter what generation you are or if it's great. We need to protect the language and we need to learn it, and I'm taking classes to learn and doing my part there, but whether you speak or not doesn't make you any more or less Cape Verdean. There's this quote I like. His name's Kwame, the first president of Ghana, said something like, "I wasn't born in Africa. Africa was born in me." And
mm,
I love that quote, just thinking about Cape Verde. Like I wasn't born in Cape Verde, but Cape Verde, I feel like was born in me. There's a author's note if you look at the back of my book where I talk about going back to the islands for the first time and feeling such a connection, not being able to speak the language, but just feeling such a connection, just spending time with people and the more besa that we talk about and the hospitality. I see that in my own Cape Verdean American family. The foods, just the mentality, just the warmth and love of family, the way we treat kids. It was there in the islands, and I see it here some 100 years later that my family arrived. So I just, if I was going to say something inspiring to different parts of the diaspora, I would say
mhm.
just be comfortable in your own experience and feel validated, whatever your experience is, and then look for ways to kind of nurture that connection, whether it's taking language classes or going to. I went to the Cape Verdean Museum in Pawtucket a few weeks ago, and that was a beautiful experience. They're doing such a great job just collecting information and preserving history and um, get there if you have any
Mhm.
ancestry or you don't, just go there to learn more. And I learned a ton there. So one of the most beautiful parts of this experience of putting out a book is that I'm getting to connect with the culture in some brand new ways just because I'm meeting new people and getting new
Mhm.
experiences. And yeah, it's been great. So I don't know, just be open to opportunities and at the same time just feel validated in who you are.
Exactly. Um, well, this has definitely been a great podcast. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we were able to connect, a month and a half ago and set this up. I'm going to
Yeah.
support you from every project that you do. Every time you're in the area, um, I'll definitely, if you're doing something, I'm going to attend and do that. I will definitely
Thank
see
you.
you in January. And if you need anything from me, anything whatsoever, please, send me a message and I'll definitely see what I can do. Um,
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that support that sometimes it's rare that people offer that. And I just really appreciate that. And same here. Same here. If there's ever anything I can do for you, then reach out. And I'm interested in I feel like a lot of the projects you mentioned I wasn't aware of. So now I feel like I need to dig and take a look at your writings. And yeah, I'm excited to
oh,
learn more.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. Just either put my name in it or the A Poetic Poets and
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And I
and
didn't
should
know you
all
were
come
poet.
up.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
for a while there, a lot of my books wasn't being displayed, and there was a issue with copywriting,
Okay.
and so they asked me a question. Um, I said, "Why is my book? They're not on the shelf. They're not on the internet. There's nothing. Where are they?" And it was a copyright issue. Well,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so I happened to um, check it out. I straightened it out, and I was very, very happy. But the craziest thing is that for 2 to 3 months, my books wasn't available,
Oh,
and
okay.
and I was very devastated. Um, and all it was
Great.
I used the image on Google,
Oh,
and it
okay,
shut
okay. They
every
flagged
time.
that. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
try to tell people to just pay attention to some of those things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go ahead.
And
Hey,
even vice versa, putting your stuff out there with AI and there, yeah, a lot can go awry these days. So yeah.
yeah. So, but yep. Anything you need from me, just give me a send me a message. All I can do is say yes or no, but I'll never. I always try to help you out as best I can. Come January, you want me to spread the word, just send any flyer that you have, send it my direction so I can put it on the different podcasts. I have
That's
three
very
podcasts
cool.
that I'm involved in, so I would definitely share with everybody and all my pages also.
Uh, well, thank you for the work you're doing to just get the word out there and um, yeah, just promote culture. I love that.
I appreciate it. Um, give Eli a high five. Give the
Yeah.
kids a high five.
Will do, will do. Thank
Um,
you.
and I just I just so happy for you. So
Thank
happy.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
I appreciate it.
all right. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy New Year.
Christmas. Enjoy. Enjoy.
And
Yeah.
all right. My Heart Speaks Krioulu. I love this book. It's a fascinating book. Please reach out. Go on to Amazon. Also, there's a website I'm going to put up real quick here. Stephanie's website. Feel free to check that out. And it's on the bottom screen there. And it's StefanieFosterBrown.com.
That's
Check it
me.
out. That's her. And you can definitely, buy the book. Buy the book. Buy 2 books. Buy 3. It's Christmas time,
They're good
hand them up.
Christmas gifts. Yeah. Yeah. And if you want me to sign them too, just reach out. I'll figure out a way to get them signed for you too.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You take care, young
All right.
lady.
You too, Charlie. Thank you.
I'm proud of you, and I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
All
All
right.
right.
Take care. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Awesome guest. Um, there is a young lady writing a book. She got inspired to write the book, and somebody bought it. They published it, and voila, it's here. It's here. Are you the next writer? Are you the next writer to write a children's book, write a story, like a memoir, like Mike Sameo did? Are you that next person? And if you are, please reach out to the Really Charlie podcast. I would like to give you your flowers while you're standing. It's real important that we support each other. And if you're an author, please reach out to me. That's one thing. That's one thing I like to do is to put authors on my platform, and maybe I can produce a few sales or two for them, and appreciate it. Please like and subscribe to the Really Charlie podcast on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I need it. I want it. And we are also on LinkedIn and Facebook Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week I will see you. I will advertise the guests as soon as we get the confirmation, and we will be back here next Tuesday. Take care. God bless. And I will see you. Have a good night. Hey. Yeah. All right, Eli. Good job, man. Keep that first round draft pick. She's a good one. You are too. Love it. You guys are inspiring. And I appreciate it. Here we go. Don't want to forget about your comments, man. Good job. Take care and Merry Christmas.